The miraculous ingredient proteoglycan is now attracting a great deal of attention worldwide, excelling in high hyaluronic acid and widely known as a moisturizing component. There is a man who has devoted half his life to proteoglycan, which was once claimed to cost 33 million yen, almost $300,000 per gram, and was considered impossible to mass produce. His name is Yoshiaki Kudo, the leading expert and developer of proteoglycan. Mr. Kudo is now well known around the world, but he has experienced many hardships in the development process of proteoglycan. The road to success was not always smooth. What is behind the success that he has achieved by overcoming conflict, deception, betrayal, and many other troubles? Well, one of my mottos is, don't give up. And the other one is, anything but death is just a scratch. What is Mr. Kudo's passion for proteoglycan? And what is the truth behind its development? Here is the half of Mr. Kudo's life that he devoted to the development of proteoglycan, believing in its future success without giving up. Mr. Yoshiaki Kudo was born in 1942 and was employed by a trading firm in Tokyo after graduating from university. At this trading company, he engaged enthusiastically in collecting product catalogs from the U.S. and selling them to Japanese companies. At that time, Japan was just entering into a high economic growth period, so it was very valuable for Japanese companies to see the advanced technology coming from the U.S. in such catalogs. This information was sought after at a high cost. In this situation, I needed to find information about patents and the like, which I couldn't find in the catalogs. So I was assigned to make patent surveys and conduct market research, and was mainly engaged in the trading of technical information. Mr. Kudo was working energetically and felt fulfilled with trading patents and technological information on a global scale. But personally, when he was just 32 years old, his grandmother passed away, causing him to return home to Aomori to look after his grandfather who survived her death. I was employed by a construction material manufacturing company called Kakuhiro, which is pretty famous in Aomori. At first, I supervised their subsidiaries' accounting and provided business guidance. But when the economic bubble burst, the construction industry itself, as well as the construction material manufacturers, went into a slump. Since then, I have been assigned to the development of new business. Eventually, Mr. Kudo launched very successful new businesses, such as a travel agency, jewelry retailer, and insurance company. Furthermore, Mr. Kudo, a man with foresight, paid close attention to a certain category. At that time, there was a lot of talk about decoding the whole human genome and genes in Japan. I thought we must be engaged in biotechnology to survive in the future, because the age of biotechnology was rapidly approaching. However, I didn't know what I should focus on in the wide range of the biotechnology field. Then, by chance, Hirosaki University proposed a joint research project for the mass production of proteoglycan, for which they had laid out the roadmap. That was how Mr. Kudo had a fateful encounter with proteoglycan and with Professor Takagaki, his mentor. The researchers of proteoglycan were conducting a lot of research about the function and structure of proteoglycan, but none of them researched the technology needed for mass production. Although Mr. Takagaki from Hirosaki University developed the technology to mass produce proteoglycan for the first time, we didn't know how we could apply it. But I had the idea that proteoglycan could be applied to not only essence lotion, but also many other fields, such as health food, because of its high moisture retention factor. While Mr. Kudo researched the potential of proteoglycan, his company gave the cold shoulder to his idea. All of the executives of the company objected to the engagement in business with such an unknown material. My company had about 10 executives, and 9 of them objected to my new research. Only the president approved my research. I guess he was thinking like, nothing ventured, nothing gained. And if my research works, that'll be a lucky break. Fortunately, we heard that a National Research and Development Institute, the Japan Science and Technology Agency, would offer a subsidy for my research, which would help the company to reduce the financial burden. Finally, I received the go-ahead for the project. Mr. Kudo was determined to develop proteoglycan, believing in its potential. As this field was completely unknown, he enrolled at Hirosaki University at the age of 55, and from the beginning studied under Professor Takagaki. Professor Takagaki's lessons were virtually individual classes. At first, I didn't even know how to use the test tubes. I was really doing research without having even an elementary knowledge of the subject. I was the only student attending from the private sector, as I was the only one from Kakuhiro. There was no other person who understood about proteoglycan at Kakuhiro, because I was the one who established the foundation for this research and did the research. I didn't know any details. I just created everything by following the manuals. Although Mr. Kudo became more attracted to the potential of proteoglycan, he found that the conventional extraction method was not practical. However, one unexpected event led to his finding the key to the solution. When I was wondering how to extract proteoglycan, Mr. Takagaki found hizunamasu, thinly sliced salmon head and vegetables soaked in vinegar at a tavern. He heard from the proprietress of the tavern that salmon cartilage can become softer after soaking in vinegar. We found that the cartilage becomes softer because the proteoglycan and collagen in the cartilage comes out. So we rushed to switch the extraction of proteoglycan by guanidine hydrochloride to extraction using acetic acid, and succeeded in its extraction. After that, we applied for a patent for extraction using acetic acid, which Kakuhiro was granted. Thus he succeeded in extracting proteoglycan. Mr. Kudo showed us the factory for salmon head processing, which is essential for extracting proteoglycan. I brought them from a freezer warehouse. These are salmon heads. Salmon heads are delivered here and chopped by hand for processing convenience. The cartilage in the salmon's head is the important part from which proteoglycan can be extracted. If you wash a chopped salmon head with water, it's going to be like this. This is a salmon head called kizu, or iced head. It's called so because it looks just like ice. We extract the cartilage like this and remove the fat around the cartilage by hand. After removing the fat, it looks like this. It's now completely processed. This process is very painstaking. Normally, about 10 workers work hard at this process every day. This area is the site for the final processing of the salmon heads. This is the final process, in which they soak the salmon heads again and remove any fine impurities from the salmon heads by hand and clean them. The salmon heads are then further crushed into small pieces by a mincer, just like this. This is sterilized water. This is the place where the materials are very carefully adjusted. Now we know how much careful handwork is used in the production of proteoglycan. There was a proposal that Hirosaki University and Kakuhiro should jointly have the patent for this extraction method. But Professor Takagaki, who is just an employee of the university, did not have the idea for applying for the patent. He was not interested in a patent, as university researchers focus mainly on writing research papers rather than applying for patents. However, Kakuhiro is a private business, which needs to acquire patents, so it applied for the patent accordingly. I actually prepared the application statement for the extraction method of proteoglycan, which was invented by Hirosaki University. I could make this statement because I had done a lot of patent-related work at the catalog-selling company I had worked for in Tokyo. Although I was going to give half of the patent to the university, they didn't accept because they couldn't offer the budget to apply for the patent. Since Hirosaki University refused to accept the patent rights, I asked whether Kakuhiro could be the holder of the patent rights by paying the full amount of the cost, and they accepted. That's why Kakuhiro still has the patent rights, even though the university's professor conducted the original research. This patent was granted with Professor Takagaki as the inventor and Kakuhiro as the patent holder. Finally, he invented the method of extracting proteoglycan from salmon heads using acetic acid and acquired a patent. But the road to mass production was still very hard. There was a problem with procurement of the raw materials required for mass production, which we couldn't solve in Aomori. We considered that building a factory in Hokkaido, where such materials can be produced more easily, would be the best way to overcome this problem. So we decided to build a factory in Kushiro for many reasons, including the location, which has many fish processing companies, the availability of the raw materials, and the services of a business advisor. However, when he went to Kushiro to build a factory for the mass production of proteoglycan, he found an unexpected problem. I didn't understand the disadvantages of acetic acid extraction. I didn't notice them. After building the factory, installing mini plants, producing and analyzing proteoglycan, we were told by the university that our proteoglycan was strange and different. I became very anxious. Did they detect some incompleteness with the acetic acid extraction method? The company in Aomori still sells products made by this method. Did they ever know about this fact? They know. Actually, I reported it to them. I reported to them that proteoglycan was cleaved by high hyaluronic acid. But I believe that they have not informed the clients about it. So none of the clients know this, I think. They still keep producing proteoglycan while giving false information that they produce perfect proteoglycan, but they don't have any other good ideas. So they have been going on this way. And although I had such cleaved proteoglycan, I went ahead and did the sample work anyway. Even though his proteoglycan was incomplete, he made samples and started the sales activity. However, there was further hardship awaiting Mr. Kudo. I rushed around to distribute the samples. When I introduced this product, they complimented it and told me that it was amazing, that it could be mass-produced. However, when they asked me how much it costs, and I answered it cost 300,000 yen or $3,000 per gram, they exclaimed, "What?" I could understand that. A product should not cost more than a few thousand yen per gram. So they gave me the cold shoulder. I visited 200 or 300 companies, but I couldn't make any deals. I couldn't get any contracts. Although he energetically visited companies, they just shut the door in his face, saying that the price was too high. So he contacted company executives directly, believing that if the problem of cost was solved, he could make it work. The company considered that this business would not be profitable, so it finally decided to withdraw. When they discussed withdrawal, I visited the head office over and over to ask them to allow me to continue my research, but they stated that they would withdraw from Kushiro. It was even reported in some newspapers, but I didn't leave Kushiro. Mr. Kudo did not want to give up seeking the potential of proteoglycan, so with his dream in mind, he set up his own business. Even though the company withdrew from this business, I was still reluctant to give up seeking the potential of proteoglycan and thought that there was room for improvement. So I gave half of my retirement allowance to my wife and used the rest to buy machines and materials for myself and kept working on this business for about 2 years. While he was researching new extraction technology, one event led to finding the key to the solution. I knew that acetic acid extraction of proteoglycan would not work, but I kept researching half-heartedly because there was no solution at that time. Although I knew I had to do something to solve the disadvantage of this extraction method and bring down the price so that the product was marketable, I did not have any good idea when I started this business. While I was absorbed in my research, I watched a cooking program on TV by chance and saw them using baking soda to soften meat. Then I wondered whether it would be possible to extract proteoglycan with an alkaline substance such as baking soda. So, together with my staff, I tried extracting proteoglycan with baking soda and found that the process went fairly well. We attempted to test other alkaline substances in order to acquire a patent. But we ran out of funds before testing all the alkaline substances. I put samples into 3 test tubes and added caustic soda as our last test. This was the very last test. After 1 week, I got a call from the test laboratory that they had successfully extracted proteoglycan from 2 of the 3 test tubes whose conditions were different from the rest. We just barely made it. We both cried. He finally succeeded in developing the first ever extraction method in the world for proteoglycan. That was the moment that his hard work was rewarded. But then Mr. Kudo got sad news. Professor Takagaki had died of acute leukemia in the hospital at Hirosaki University a few months after I started my business. Now, I feel that proteoglycan might be useful in treating acute leukemia. But this has not been achieved yet. I still regret that I couldn't save Professor Takagaki's life, although I could produce proteoglycan thanks to his instructions. Yes, I really regret that event. Further hardship came soon after his mentor passed away. I succeeded with the extraction, applied for a patent, and acquired the patent at a relatively early stage. Then I planned to acquire patents from overseas from the global viewpoint so that our product could be offered overseas as well as in Japan. Now that he had patents overseas and was recognized worldwide, his business seemed to be on the right track. But when I founded the company, one member of the Industrial Technology Center left and joined Biomatic Japan as a factory manager as soon as we had established our factory. 1 year later, another person who worked as a section chief at the Industrial Technology Center also said he wanted to join us. So I said, okay, come on in. I needed my successor, so I appointed him as the managing director, and he was practically working as the general manager and responsible for everything, including sales and accounting. I trained him as the president-to-be, I mean, the next president. In the first few years, we often participated in exhibitions. We sometimes visited exhibitions together to explain about our products. We usually visited the exhibitions together. One day, we needed to join an exhibition urgently, so I arranged tickets for us all. But the other 2 people said they were not able to go and asked me to manage the exhibition alone. So I couldn't avoid attending alone. However, when I came back from the trip, I found an email which told me that they would leave the company. One of them bid farewell, but the other didn't even say a word. They conspired with each other to quit the company. While I was absent from the company for 3 or 4 days, they took away all the essential documents, and I found nothing in my desk. They didn't come to the office anymore. They just quit by sending an email. The thing is that the person who entered our company as the general manager joined hands with an outsider behind the scenes. Probably they were approached by a mastermind to sell our patent in Russia. They had talked with a Russian company behind the scenes. They were advancing a negotiation for a deal to sell our patent and produce Proteoglycan in Russia because they can catch salmon there. However, as I suspected this deal, I refused to sell the patent to Russia just before they were going to sell it. Although they seemed to have promised to conclude this deal, they lost face because I refused. They tried to persuade me to sell the patent, saying it would be no use holding my patent in Russia because I could not use it there. But that's not correct. They quit the company just because they couldn't agree with me, the president, and didn't want to work with me. Now, they rent one lot of a fishing processing company at Oshamambe to process salmon, so they can buy as many salmon heads as they want. They sell cheap and inferior products. There was a rumor that their business was not going well. I have not heard if they went bankrupt, so I think they are still doing business. Although things went against him, he moved forward without giving up his dream and finally established the factory that he had desired for so long. Moreover, he was presented with the Prime Minister's Award for his achievements in the past. He believed that his Proteoglycan would be recognized by many people this time around. However, the biggest challenge was still waiting for Mr. Kudo. Soon after that, there was a terrible fire. Our first factory was entirely destroyed. Tragically, the factory was completely destroyed by the fire. And what was worse, there were a lot of people who anticipated the potential growth of Proteoglycan. Some companies asked me to sell our patent rights. Other companies asked me to transfer our shares. We were approached by 6 companies in total. The highest offer was 600 million yen, or $5.4 million. They offered to buy both the patent and shares in the company. But when I talked with them, I realized that these companies, all except for one, offered to buy our patent and the shares just to crush our Proteoglycan business. They just hated other pharmaceutical companies buying our product. If this had happened, our Proteoglycan product would never have reached the market. If I were not involved in this business, our product could never have been sold. That means it would never have even seen the light of day. But then, destiny introduced someone special. The world is full of surprises. One day, A young entrepreneur from Kyushu called, asked to meet me, and then visited me. I was taken aback at first, but after having a heart-to-heart talk with him, I realized that he was a very honest person who hoped to start a business using Proteoglycan. And his ideal was in perfect agreement with mine. I made up my mind to make a contract with him, thinking I could give everything to him. Mr. Kudo met a trustworthy partner and made a fresh start. His inquiring mind still never ends. I still keep searching for better things. Recently, I produced a remarkable research result. I created Proteoglycan, whose absorption factor is about 5 times higher than the conventional one. When Proteoglycan is inside the cartilage, Proteoglycan and type 2 collagen are bonded together. I have already told you that if they are not separated completely, it will cause poor absorption, right? Besides, even after separating the Proteoglycan from the collagen, multiple pieces may sometimes get twisted and become a larger molecule, which cannot be easily absorbed. In this case, only 1% of the Proteoglycan can be absorbed by the body, and 99% drains into the large intestine. We calculate the intake of Proteoglycan so that 1% of Proteoglycan can stimulate all the cells, even if 99% drains away. Even if multiple parts of Proteoglycan get twisted and become a dimer, trimer, or tetramer, they can be untangled properly into smaller parts so that they can be absorbed smoothly by the body. I've found a way to increase absorption 500% by adjusting the twisted conventional Proteoglycan to be a monomer. We now produce Proteoglycan using this method. I think that our Proteoglycan has an absorption several times higher than Kakuhiro's Proteoglycan. I think this is a defect that can never be fixed, and as long as they refuse to improve the quality of Proteoglycan and continue to use acetic acid, there's nothing they can do about it. I guess important information has not been provided by Kakuhiro to Ichimaru Varcos. It was recently found by Hirosaki University that their way of producing Proteoglycan was different from the description of the patent and research by the university. So, they do not follow Professor Takagaki's method. They proclaim that their Proteoglycan was created after a long joint research with Hirosaki University. But their Proteoglycan is totally different from the Proteoglycan that 3 people, including myself, developed at Hirosaki University. Hirosaki University claims that they don't want such low-quality product to be sold on the market using the name of the university. I openly told you I was involved in the production from the very beginning. And I know the good and bad of their product. I just want you to know that I am telling the truth. And in conclusion, there is only one truth. Mr. Kudo gave us a special chance to see his cherished Proteoglycan manufacturing factory. These are the original ingredients of Proteoglycan and non-denatured type 2 collagen. We put it in this extraction tank, then we add pure water, measured caustic soda, and stir the mixture for a certain period to extract Proteoglycan and non-denatured type 2 collagen. Next, it continues to this centrifuge, which we use to separate the lighter material from the heavier material. Then, through these pipes and into this tank go the Proteoglycan and non-denatured type 2 collagen. This is where the Proteoglycan and collagen are separated. As Proteoglycan is an aqueous solution, it goes into the tank through this line in a liquid form. The Proteoglycan is then processed by this filter, which is used to extract any impurities. As a result, the clean Proteoglycan solution is collected here. The Proteoglycan solution collected in the plastic container is moved to this tank, where it precipitates for some while. It is then processed by a concentrator. As only a small amount of Proteoglycan is contained in a large amount of water, it is necessary to remove as much water as possible before processing by a freeze dryer. Next, we drain the water in the tank to collect the concentrated solution. After drying the concentrated solution by a vacuum freeze dryer, the Proteoglycan is produced as the final product. That's our Proteoglycan production process.
After such hardship beyond our imagination, Proteoglycan is created by only one extraction method in the world. Proteoglycan, an ingredient with infinite potential, is now being launched globally.
I have two important mottos I live by. One is don't give up, and the other is anything but death is just a scratch. I found these mottos through my experience, which means that we should not be disappointed with small troubles. This is a very important point to always remember. My goal was to put Proteoglycan into practical use. So, it is my great pleasure to hear users say, "Your product is good. Your product is helpful. I want to use it continuously." That is a pleasure that money cannot buy. I will feel happiest if there is a system that allows people all over the world to use our product, to enrich their lives to their complete satisfaction. And I promise to give my full cooperation to the achievement of this goal.